Hi, Deborah Drummond here, and just a little quick video to give you a taste of my life coaching and what's possible for you in your life. Henry David Thoreau once wrote, "If one advances confidently in the direction of their dreams and endeavors to live the life they have imagined, they will meet with a success unexpected in common hours." Think about that. They will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. So often in life we've given up dreaming. Remember when you were a kid? Man, could we dream big. We were anything and everything. We were astronauts, we were superheroes, we were ballerinas, you name it, we lived it. And then we grew up and went about the business of taking care of business. And all too often, we lost that ability to dream, or at least to dream big. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you can dream it, you can have it. You can be, do, have all those things you've ever dreamed of. Let me tell you a little story. There once was this young man, and he went to the river to his favorite fishing spot. And when he got there, he noticed there was this old guy up the river who was fishing and catching a lot of fish. And as he watched him, he saw that when he pulled the fish out of the water, he would reach back and grab this broken ruler and measure the fish to the ruler. If the fish was bigger than the ruler, he'd throw it back in the river. If it was smaller, he'd put it in his bucket. Well, this got the young guy wondering, why is he throwing the big fish back? Do they not taste as good when they get big? Are they too bony? Finally, after a while, he couldn't handle it. He had to go and ask the guy. So he goes over to the old guy and he says, "Hi, I see you're catching a lot of fish, and I was just wondering, I noticed that you keep throwing the big fish back. Why are you doing that? Do they not taste as good when they get big, or are they too bony?" And the old guy laughs and he says, No. Do you see that ruler over there? And that young guy goes, "Yes, I do." And the old guy says, "Well, that ruler is the exact same size as my frying pan." Now, I know that sounds silly, crazy, but think about it. Don't we all do that sometimes? Sometimes in life will throw you a big idea or this big opportunity. And when we look at it, we think, oh, I can't possibly do that because the paradigm for what we believe is possible for us is too small. So we throw that idea back or that opportunity back. You can have those things. And I'm going to take you through a quick little exercise that'll show you how you can actually dump that small paradigm and start living in a bigger paradigm that'll hold your dreams. So go with me on an imaginary trip right now. If you could be, do, have anything you wanted in the world, there were no barriers to what you wanted, what would you dream of? What would you want to be, do, and have? If your education level didn't matter, if your age, if you weren't too old or you weren't too young, if you weren't too this or that or not enough the other, if you could just be, do, have whatever you dreamed of, what would you dream of being, doing, and having? Think about that. Where would you live? What would your house look like? Maybe you'd have more than one house. Maybe you'd have a beach house in Fiji, or maybe a chalet in Switzerland. What kind of a car would you drive? How many cars would you have? What would you do as your creative expression to serve this world? In other words, what would your job be? What would your ideal dream job be? What would your relationships look like? What would your health and vitality be like? I want you to really stop right now and think about those things. Allow your imagination to grow like it was when you were a young child. And imagine it as big and as wonderful as you would really love for it to be. Now we're going to go on a journey. Let that flood in. Let those imaginings of what your life could be flood in. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to start to just move forward in time to 1 year from now. Moving forward still, 2 years from now. Moving forward still, 3 years in time. It is now the year 2020. Perfect vision, right? And you have accomplished this dream. You are living the life you would love. You have it. You have that job that you love and you're making tons of money at it. You have that dream home. You have that car. You have that relationship that is rich and full of love. You have stellar health with vitality. And now imagine, here you are in 2020. Really imagine this. And you're just walking down the street. And as you're walking down the street, enjoying the life you'd love, having all that, you see down the street an old friend you hadn't seen in 3 years. And this was a dear friend. And as you're looking at your friend looks up and sees you and smiles and rushes up to you and says, "Oh my gosh, it's so great to see you. Wow, you look fantastic. What are you doing? Are you still living in the same place? What's going on with your life?" Now, either out loud or in your imagination right now, really tell your friend about that life. Tell your friend where you're living right now. What does that house look like? Where is it? How big is it? What are the furnishings? In your imagination and or out loud right now, speak it and talk about how great your house is, how much you love it. Is it full of big overstuffed chairs and antiques? Or is it very zen and clean and sleek? What is it? What is it that you dream of? Let that be right now and tell your friend. And your friend goes, "Wow, well, what are you doing now?" Tell them about your job. Tell them about how you use your creative life to make a difference in this world. What is it that you do for a living that brings in all the money you could ever want and dream of? Tell them about your job. Tell them about how successful you are. Tell them about that book you wrote, or about how you invented this new product or piece of machinery. Tell them about how you've become a world-renowned teacher. Whatever it is, what is your dream? What would you love? And tell them about how you're loving the success of that dream. Now, tell them about your health. How vital and alive you feel, how you don't even think about it. You just automatically just walk everywhere and sometimes break out in a run or skip and dance, and you just started eating healthy food and you don't even know when it happened, but you're so vital and alive and you feel fabulous. Tell them about how great you feel. Now, as you're doing this, feel that energy beginning to build in you, the emotion of how great it feels to be you and to be alive and to be expressing and living the life you'd love. How in love you are with the people around you, how your children and your parents and your significant other, and how much fun you have with all of your friends, and it's just such an open, free, joyful, playful life. And then your friend goes, "Oh my gosh, well, you know what, I knew it. I knew you'd always be a winner. I've got to run right now, but wow, you're living the dream." And as your friend walks away, you feel yourself alive and buzzing with the vitality and the truth of living this life. Really take it in. Now you're going to use a gift you have. It's memory, but it's forward memory. It's future memory. So I want you to memorize the experience of this emotion. Memorize so you can pull it back anytime you want, what it feels like to feel so alive, so creative, so successful. Feel it, because I'm going to tell you that that's a vibration that's higher than your paradigm probably is operating on now. And that vibration is going to be matched by what's in the universe. In other words, whatever is in the universe that matches that high vibration is going to begin to be drawn to you. So you really want to practice this vibration. So now that you had it memorized, let's walk back to the now. Back a year, back a year, back a year. You're in the here and now, but you have that emotion, that feeling. This is 90% of the work. But there's another percent. You've got to take action to signal to the universe that you're ready for this to happen. Don't just willy-nilly take action. It's like throwing spaghetti on a wall and seeing if it sticks. sit and be quiet for a while and you want to take inspired action. Here's an idea on how you can come up with something inspired. Hold in one hand this dream, the vitality, the aliveness, the dream you'd love living. And then in the other hand, hold your here and now. And it's important that you really appreciate your here and now. And notice that in between your life now and that paradigm shift into the life you'd love to live is a gap. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, just say, what's the next step to navigate the gap? Now, you may immediately come up with an idea of what to do. You may have to sit with it quietly for a while, or maybe you'll have it in a dream or wake up and know. But sometime very, very soon, that idea is going to be the inspired action for you to take. And it doesn't have to be huge. It could be clean up my calendar. It could be call an old friend who I know knows something about this. It could be I'm going to clear my workspace and start inventing this machine right now. It doesn't matter how big or small. It's stepping in that signals the universe. And the next inspired action will come to you, and the next will come after that. This is the magic that happens. Most of it is in the imagining and building the emotional vibration of that paradigm shift. And some people get stuck there and they don't take the action steps. Some people take a lot of action steps and don't hold that goal in mind, that place that they're aiming for. When you put those together, the magic truly happens. Try it and see. When we're done here, write your vision down, write your dream down in as much rich detail as you can. Read it every morning when you wake up, read it every night before you go to bed. What my husband and I do is reread ours to each other, and then we meditate and action steps show up. Just a suggestion. Try it. You're going to be surprised at the magic that shows up in your life. Just remember, dream big. Bye for now.